Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about the June 18th, 2023 new moon in Gemini transit. There will be a new moon in Gemini on June 18th, 2023. Now, a new moon in astrology can bring much initiative and enterprise. It could be an opportune time for discarding what is frivolous, what is superfluous, what may have prohibited you and held you back previously can now be discarded. This could be a time that you have an abundance and surfeit of energy. Being in Gemini, it could be very vivacious, animated, spirited energy. You may feel like starting manifold things. And the thing is, it's also important when you have a new moon transit. Look for contraindicators for this transit. Let's say if you have transit Neptune, making an adverse aspect to your natal Mars, Sun, or Ascendant, that energy for you may not be quite as prodigious, and you may feel a little bit more lethargic, a little bit tired, more you might be a little bit more inclined to daydreaming and fantasizing as opposed to taking action. So it's important to look for those contraindicators, those modifying transits. What may start out with the new moon in Gemini may culminate with the full moon in Capricorn. And some may begin this new moon in Gemini to be more inquisitive, and it may culminate with an unveiling of a new career. It could be where one may begin start to express more versatility with the new moon in Gemini, and as a result that person may be offered a position in management or authority, and it could result in one increasing their social status and stature in life. This could be an opportune time for embarking on a new project or endeavor. It could also be a time where procrastination comes to an end. This could be an exceptionally, for new moons in astrology, can be an exceptionally revitalizing and rejuvenating period. The transit can manifest in very extemporaneous and spontaneous energy. Being in Gemini, new projects may be initiated with much vivaciousness, animation, cheerfulness. The new moon may collectively impact everybody, but especially people with the Sun, Moon, or Ascendant in Gemini or Cancer. Gemini, of course, because it's in their sign, and the zodiac sign Cancer, well, simply because the zodiac sign Cancer can be impacted strongly by all transits and phases of the moon, and this could be attributed as to why the zodiac sign Cancer can be very fickle, moody, and temperamental. And also, too, having this new moon in Gemini transit, as far as what could be started, well, it could be the start of something that requires versatility, variety, dexterity, such as juggling. It could be doing something requires manual dexterity, like auto or refrigeration mechanics. It may be the start of just a new communication with someone, or speaking in a more articulate and eloquent manner. Some may begin something associated with mental stimulation. People need to be careful not to start too many things at once, as they may dissipate themselves through lack of an integrating purpose. If this transit falls in one's ninth house, it may be the beginning of having just a manifold belief system. And let's say if it falls in the 8th house, it could be the start of giving and receiving diversified support. In some instances, though the new moon in astrology is generally auspicious, I believe it could signify the start of a minor Gemini health-related issue, especially if it falls in the first or sixth house in one's chart. The first house corresponds with the physical body. The sixth house is associated with physical health-related issues. Now, it could be, the start, something connected with the lungs, the arms, hands, shoulders, nerves, or breathing. It may be, for example, like a mild sprain in the arm or some kind of, like a mild twitch in that area. Now, let's say if it falls in the fifth house, it may be the start, of a new Gemini-related sport. One that may require quick reactions, such as ping pong, racquetball, or badminton. It could be one that requires shrewdness. Maybe one where you just have a hard time, pinning another person down, so to speak. There was one time I had was playing a bicycle game, with a fellow Gemini moon friend. He also had his Gemini rising, and it may be, in what it was, I put simply in quotes. It sounds easy. I was supposed to, ride behind him and try to touch his back tire with my front tire, and I never was able to do it. He always managed to outmaneuver. He was very quick. I mean, I could not pin him down, basically. I couldn't capture him. I could not touch the his back tire with my front tire. Never happened one time. But anyway. Another thing too about this, if it falls in the fifth house in one's chart, it could be the start, of a game that requires, mental agility, such as luminosity or haiku. Now, another thing is, for yourself, look at the house that this falls in, as this could impact its delineation and interpretation. For me, this is going to fall in the second house in my natal chart. This could manifest in a number of ways. One way this may be expressed, it could be a new writing venture, which I make money. Maybe it's the start of a diversified portfolio. But seriously, it could be about general communicating and assimilating information that is tied into my self-worth, and having maybe the start of having a more flexible value system. Now, another thing too, it's important about this. It's important to look at the aspects this makes to points, in your chart, as this could impact how it affects you. Now, this is going to make a close trine to my natal Jupiter in Libra in the sixth house. This aspect can simply add more prosperity and luck in connection, with the new moon in Gemini. Being in the sixth house, this could be something work-related. Jupiter in Libra can be lucky when compromising and being cooperative. It could be an indicator of doing more than just, the natal chart overviews and full natal chart readings, expanding upon that. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, and we'll learn and saying stay well.